Hello, group. Good evening. Welcome to our Own Your Marriage Facebook group. Tonight is our second live stream. It's Monday evening, and tonight we're going to talk about respect. That is going to be the topic. Now, this live stream is for guys, for married men in this group who are married. They're living in the same house with their wives, even if they may be separated within the house. But this is geared for them. As long as you're living in the same house, you have kids, there's no addiction, no affairs, there's no divorce process, there isn't a very serious conversation about separation or divorce. This video is for you because we're going to talk about why is this video for you? Because that was my story. That is what I went through, right? We had everything, it looked okay, but there was a disconnect. There was a lot of disrespect in my relationship. There was a lack of trust. And automatically, whenever that happens, there's a lack of passion. Now, if that's you, like if you're married, you have kids together, because having kids together does help. It also causes a lot of problems, right? But in terms of the solution, in terms of the strategy, having kids together does help, all right? And we'll get to that, not in today's video, but in another video, okay? I promise you. But if that's you and you don't have any history of addiction, alcohol, drug addiction for her or you, there's no fears going on, and there isn't any serious conversation about divorce or separation, you are in a good place. Now, I understand you're probably in a painful spot because I've been there, I've lived there for many years. I cared about my wife. I wanted to do I did whatever I thought she wanted, but I never managed to capture her heart until I started giving up, until I was frustrated and I was just angry. So I know what it's like, but compared to people who have more advanced problems, it's going to be easier. And the reason why we started a new group, right? Many of you came from the other, Create Your Amazing Marriage group, which has over 6,500 guys. Why did we start this group? Because I would rather help a small group of men and help them in something that we can do 10 times quicker than somebody who has advanced problems. All right. Now, this doesn't mean we're kicking people out. In fact, we have a lot of guys over here who I know who have more advanced problems. They're already separated. They have a history of addiction. There's a history of affairs. There's the wife. The wife is living in a different house already. She may not even be hiding her affair. Right. There's different advanced problems, but what I found was, having worked with those situations, is that it takes a lot more time, a lot more effort, quite frankly, a lot more money, right? Because it takes a lot more time, and the same type of strategy, literally the same exact strategy that we use, can be used 10 times and even 20 times more effectively and quicker before your marriage gets to that point. And that's my passion right now, to help guys in what I call marriage cancer stage 1. All right, I'm not going to get into all the details of marriage cancer, but that's essentially marriage cancer stage 1. Now, if that's you, go ahead in the chat and write, that is me. Just say, hey, that's me. If you feel you're like stage 1, you're like my situation, you're living in the same house, you have kids together, no addiction, no affairs, no serious conversation about divorce or separation, then just type in the chat, that's me. Now, for the other guys who have advanced problems, we are allowing you to stay in the group because I know it is going to help you as a dad. It's going to help you get clarity on where you went wrong. It's going to help you identify the things that you said or did which pushed your wife away despite your best intentions. It's going to take away the confusion. It's going to take away the guilt. I know this because we've worked with so many guys. It's going to help you with your next relationship, but I found that there's a 60% chance what I teach you in this group will not help you with your current marriage. I'm going to be blunt with you because I'm not giving you the full strategy for those advanced problems. It literally takes it takes more time. It takes more time. All right. So again, you can stay here. You'll gain a lot, but I just want to just be transparent with you because I've seen this over and over again. It is so much easier to help a marriage before it gets to the point of separation, before it gets to the point that she's in an affair, before there's addiction, before there's that level of disconnect and distrust. Okay. So having said that, let me just say that the more you interact with me and answer the questions and share what's going on for you, the easier it's going to be for me to put together the next training video. Because what I'm going to do is As of now, the plan is to do it next Monday, like we always do every Monday, right? But if I get the answers and the clarity on what we're looking for to help you, I'll be able to put out the next video by Thursday. All right, that's my commitment. So if I get enough feedback on this, today we're going to talk about respect. On Thursday, we're going to move on to the next topic and go deep into marriage cancer and understanding how to identify it, what is it, and why it's there. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is the importance of respect, why respect is important. It's not just like a luxury, it's not just something selfish, why it's important for your marriage, why it's important for your wife, why it's important for your kids that you guys respect each other. We're also going to talk about what is really going on in your marriage. Like, is it just an issue of respect or is it something else? There's a very big difference in those two scenarios. And number three, we're going to talk about how to avoid the typical trap that guys have when they're being disrespected, when they're disconnected, when there is no trust. Okay? So I would love to see your comments. Again, if you feel like you're in a stage one, say, hey, I'm stage one. All right? Otherwise, you can say more advanced, but we're not going to get into breaking down every one of the marriage cancer stages. Okay? So the reason why it's very important to really wrap your head around this, because most guys don't get it. They feel selfish or awkward or uncomfortable admitting the fact that, hey, I am disrespected. I want to be respected. They feel like there's something wrong with that, and somehow morally or spiritually or on some religious level, they shouldn't really want respect. Like, it's selfish or it's ego. And that's actually really, really not true. Because number one, if you feel respected, I remember what it was like to feel disrespected in my marriage, in my relationship. It was very difficult for me to be motivated to invest in my marriage. Simply because my fuel line was being cut off. My, so to speak, my emotional oxygen, that's what it felt like to me, okay? It was like, how am I supposed to keep on loving and buying things and expressing my love and telling you I love you and doing what she wants and paying for what she wants if I don't matter? What I do doesn't matter. My good intentions don't matter. So it literally gives you, as it gave me, more motivation when my wife started respecting me. And number two, automatically there's attraction, because what happens behind respect is attraction. A woman cannot be attracted to you unless she respects you. There's very rare exception. Like, if, let's say, I'm gonna go a little bit off over here, but like if she's ovulating and she has a particular physical chemical sex drive for like 1 or 2 days a month, which has nothing to do with you. I'm just telling you the blunt truth over here, right? That's why it's just men over here in this group. That's the blunt truth. But otherwise, her attraction depends on respect. Men have the ability to be attracted to many women because they don't need to have an emotional connection to be attracted. Okay, that's just a reality. Let's be real. All right, that's just the difference. One of the fundamental differences between men and women. Women need to have that emotional attachment, that connection. They have to respect you in order to actually desire you sexually, intimately. It just doesn't go otherwise. A man can, be attracted to a woman, even one who he doesn't like on a moral level or on a spiritual level or intellectual level. It's just the way we are designed. All right, let's face it. All right, next. So it's important for you to be respected because it increases her attraction to you. It increases your motivation to invest in the relationship. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing selfish. Same thing, it's also important for her because it unlocks her heart. When a woman respects her husband, it takes a load off her shoulders. She stops complaining about a bunch of stuff, because a lot of the complaints you will see in your marriage, I mean, you'll see this over time. I'm just planting the seeds right now. But a lot of the frustration, the nagginess, comes from a simple lack of attraction. It comes from a lack of respect. All right? And automatically, if she doesn't respect you, she'll find everything to complain about. Your laundry, your this, the way you looked at her, what you said, what you didn't say, what you should have said, what you said 12 months ago. I mean, what you told. It just, there's no limit. All right? So respect is a pretty fundamental thing. There are deeper things, but for this video, let's just talk about it as a fundamental thing, okay? Now, the third, so it's important for her. It literally unlocks her heart. It unlocks her sex drive. It unlocks her emotions if she respects you. It's very healthy for her. It's not like, oh, macho, like, I'm the man, so you got to respect me. No, it's good for you. It's good for her. And it's also good for your kids. And we can talk about this for an hour, but I'm going to try to keep this part brief because there's a lot I want to cover in today's training. For your kids, there are studies that show that when parents are connected, when the kid sees that parents are in love and that they respect each other, the kids are happier. You don't need a study, just need a little bit of common sense to look around and see it. They're less aggressive towards each other. They behave better in school. All right. They behave better in school. They get better marks. And most importantly, they desire to role model their parents' marriage. Right? How many of you, if you feel, and I hope you feel safe in this group, because that's the goal. That's why we made it, and that's why it's small, and that's why there are only men. Exception of that is my wife, because she really helps me a lot with this. Okay, she manages a lot of stuff for me. She's on my team, so but you're safe with her, right? But how many of you told yourselves, I'm not going to have a marriage like I'm going to have a different marriage than my parents. It's going to be different. It's not going to be the way my parents are. And then you go ahead and you're repeating sort of the same mistakes, or you're getting somehow, for whatever reason, you're getting the same type of marriage that you saw your parents have, which you told yourself you're not going to have. Comment in the chat and tell me. Because if one guy gets honest and one guy gets real and one guy's vulnerable, that's going to allow another guy and another guy, another man to open up and let's get real. Because if we don't get to the root of the problem, we won't be able to put together a real solution. So let's be honest about it, right? If you respect each other, automatically it gives your kids a sense of security, a sense of confidence, and then a sense of like, hey, I want to have that type of marriage. I want to have that type of relationship. I want to turn to my parents, to my father, to my mother for advice about important things, including relationships. And when you don't have it, the kid just says, oh, kids aren't stupid. We think that that they don't get affected, and a lot of guys try to convince themselves, oh, my son used to be upset about their marriage, now he's not upset. They just stop trusting you a little bit. That's what happens, okay? So this really, really does affect them. And another thing that happens if you respect it is that they can't play one against another. Very often in a marriage where where you don't respect each other and the kids sense it, they will play you one against another, and that's where they'll actually agitate you. They'll go to the mother and ask for something, and then she'll say one thing, and then they'll go to you and they'll ask for another. They will literally manipulate both of you without even deliberately doing it, because they know they can get away with more stuff, get away with more junk, with more candy, whatever it is, if you guys aren't aligned. It just happens. It's almost automatic. It's not even like deliberate. It's not sinister. It just happens. So my point over here is that respect is a vital need. It's not a luxury. It's not selfish. It's not wrong. I'm just going to recap quickly, right? And tell me if this makes sense. Tell me if this resonates with you. Tell me if you've seen anything like this in your relationship, which tells you that, that this is giving you more clarity on what's going on. Because the first thing you got to have is clarity. A lot of guys want to rush into like, what's the solution? What should I do? Well, you first have to understand, you got to diagnose before you treat. You really have to know, is it, if you're spitting up blood, why are you spitting up blood? It's not just because you ate too much burritos. You know what I mean? You have to really understand what's going on over there. Okay? So that's the basic thing. All right, respect is vital for you, for her, and the kids. Next thing, all right, point number 2, very, very important. I hope you're taking some notes on this, all right? What is really going on in the relationship? I'm going to be blunt with you, because that's what I do, and that's what helped me when I got blunt with myself, and is the issue only respect? Now, here's a reality check. A lot of marriages, even those that are relatively good, have problems. How do you know if your problem is a regular problem or your problem is a real problem? All right, very simple. Like, I'll give you a brief example, without getting into too much detail. Me and my wife, as good as our relationship is, there are times that we disagree. There are times that we may even feel insulted. There are times that I may feel disrespected by something she does. Yes, even now, in our wonderful, blissful marriage, there are times when she'll say or do something, I'm like, well, Malky, why did you say that in front of that? Right? So it happens. How do you know if you have a real respect issue or just something that could be resolved? It's very simple. It's extremely simple if it gets resolved. Okay? A lot of couples will struggle with, let's say, sex, emotional connection, respect. If you talk about it and it gets fixed immediately, all right, then you know it's just an issue that you spoke about and it got fixed. But if you talk about the lack of respect, the lack of connection, the lack of trust, the lack of passion, and you talk about it with your wife, and those conversations happen again and again and again and again, and then the problem stays or the problem shifts. Like sometimes the wife will say, okay, well, if you did this and this and this and this and this, and she gives you a list, then things will be fine. And you do the list, and then suddenly you have different problems, right? And then you get a new list, right? So the way to know is, if very simple, if you talk about it and it gets fixed, you're okay. You don't need this group, right? Because normal couples do that. They talk about things and they get fixed. But if you talk about it and it doesn't get fixed, or or it evolves into another problem, it creates another argument and another blow up and another misunderstanding and another heartache, then you have a deeper issue. And it's very important to understand that and respect it, because when you have a deeper issue, you can never start trying to heal a symptom. If you have a deeper disconnect, a deeper lack of trust, and you're just working on respect, it's going to backfire at you. I promise you, right? And in fact, I think something interesting. One of the best ways to know, one of the best ways to measure real respect is if it's automatic. Respect is not meant to be something which is begged for, argued over. It's not really meant to be a conversation where you have a whole like argument. It's not a negotiation. It's automatic. If you need to beg for your respect, then that's not called respect. That's called transaction. Oh, I make a deal. Don't say this in front of the kids. Okay, fine. It's not real respect, right? Essentially, respect is supposed to be something which happens automatically. It's not even a decision, right? When you respect somebody, do you make a decision and say, hey, let me sit down and with a pen and paper and do all the pros and cons and see, should I respect this person or not? That's ridiculous. Nobody does that. It's not real. It's not human. It's not normal. The way you respect someone is you just feel it. I respect you or I don't respect you. I trust you. I don't trust you. It's real. It's genuine. The same thing is supposed to be in a marriage. It's supposed to be like, oh, I respect him. Okay, there was an issue. We spoke about it. All right, now she really. So in other words, even now, if I feel disrespected by my wife, I know she respects me. I really do know that. But sometimes there's a detail, something specific happened. She said something in front of the wrong person, to this and that, blah, blah. She undermined me. I told the kids one thing, she told them another thing, and she knew it. She just, whatever. She wanted to make her life easier, so she just gave in to them, and I feel disrespected. But I know she respects me, you know what I mean? So it's automatic. So even if we have to talk about it, guys, I hope I'm not going too deep. Let me know if this makes sense, or if you have any questions, or or I went way too advanced with you, right? Okay? So some of you guys know me from the previous group. A lot of you guys are new, so it's sort of a balance over here. So just comment in the chat. How much of this is making sense, how much is resonating, and any questions that you have, all right? So it's important to really just ask yourself and look in the mirror and say, hey, is respect my only issue? Or is there something deeper? And I promise you, in our next video, I promise you, I will go deep into the 3 roots of marriage cancer. What causes marriage cancer? What causes that disconnect? What causes that disrespect and lack of trust? I promise you I'll do that. But, and I said, if we have a lot of feedback on this video, enough to really understand what's going on with you guys specifically, because I want to help you, I want to take you all the way to the finish line, then we'll make that video this Thursday instead of waiting till next Monday. All right, so I'm just reminding you of that little incentive. All right, just being transparent and throwing that out there. All right, so that's the second thing. So the first thing is to understand respect is vital. We went through that in detail. The second thing is to understand respect is a symptom, and it is something deeper. If it's not a symptom, if respect is the only issue, you would talk about it and it would get fixed and it'll be over. You probably wouldn't even be in this Facebook group. You would just simply talk to your wife. It would be like a budget conversation. Here we have X amount of money. Here's what's going on. Here's the problem. Here's what we're going to do this month. And it's done and over, like every couple does regularly. All right? So that you have to get clear on, is this just respect or is there a deeper disconnect? And we will talk about the deeper disconnect, but I first want to dial in what respect is and what it isn't. The third thing is, and guys, this is really, really, really important. What I'm about to tell you now is so important. I can't overstate it, right? The third thing is to avoid the trap of making the wrong strategic mistake when dealing with a disrespect issue. So the main trap, there are a lot of traps. We'll talk about some of them now, but the main trap is involving your wife. What if your wife is disconnected from you and disrespects you? And it's not just disrespect, but that there's a deeper issue. There's a deeper issue. of that has that wall. There's like a wall around her heart, which is locking up the passion, which is blocking off the girl you fell in love with, which is blocking her from seeing your best intentions. Like if you know that, right? The typical trap that guys are tempted to do, which you got to avoid at all costs, and I'll explain why, is to involve your wife in the process, to sit down with her and discuss it with her and say, hey, sweetie, let's talk about it, right? Because you probably already did that conversation many times and it didn't work. Why doesn't it work? Why don't these heart-to-heart conversations with our wives, and I've done it too, I know what it's like. I did it until I realized it was a waste of time. And that's when I just went back and to the drawing board and tried to figure this out. And I'll share that with you in the next videos, right? But the reason why it doesn't work to involve her, there are basically three reasons. The first reason is because a woman has no clue. And I'm saying I'm telling you the truth. It sounds crude, but if you listen till the end, it's gonna make total sense. She has no clue what she really, really wants. She's looking for a feeling. A woman, especially when the marriage is painful and bitter and frustrated and there's a lack of passion, she's not sure what she's looking for. She's looking to feel good. She's looking to feel happy. She's looking to feel safe. There could be 400 different feelings, 1,000 different feelings. She's looking to feel important, whatever it is, but she has no clue what she's looking for and how she's going to get there. And she thinks that if you do what she says, she'll feel better. It never helps. All right? In a good marriage, it does. In a healthy marriage, she says, hey, look, if you did this, I would feel better. If you picked up your laundry and if you came home on time and we spent more time, if you did the dishes, I'll feel better. And it's true. She feels happier. But if there's any type of deeper issue, a root issue, we call this marriage cancer. We'll talk about it in the subsequent videos. Doing things for her won't help. Paying for things won't help. Being a good dad won't help. It won't help the marriage. All right? And this is the trap guys fall into, trying to involve her. And this is the reason why counseling doesn't work. Because counseling is essentially saying, like, I'll go deeper. I'll go deeper than I get the counseling, all right? Because I'm unloading a lot of stuff on you right now. The second reason why you can't involve her is because most women, what I'm about to tell you applies to most women, not all. In marriage cancer stage 1, it applies to most. If you're in more advanced stages of marriage cancer, like you're beyond the description I gave you several times in this video, then it applies to all women, right? Most women in marriage cancer stage 1, where they feel disconnected from their husbands, they don't trust, they're not open, they disrespect them, they deep down in their heart believe, listen carefully, they believe it, whether it's true or not doesn't matter, but they believe that they already made their best effort, that they already invested their best intentions, and they tried to make the marriage work, and you didn't realize. You were out to lunch, you didn't know, you were clueless. All right? That's what they believe. And sometimes it's true. Very often you'll have a situation where the woman is in pain for years, and the guy realized, just a couple of weeks ago or a couple of days ago. And she's like, what's that? I was upset for 5 years, and he realized 7 years later. I mean, this is extremely common. Or even 3 years later. You get the point, all right? Let me know if you relate to this, if you know what I'm talking about, if you experienced it. Because we have all types of guys over here. So since she feels that she already invested her heart, even if she makes believe she's going to work something out with you, her heart will not be in it. Even if she goes to counseling, her heart won't be in it. Even if you take her to a retreat, essentially what you're doing is she has no idea how to unlock her heart, which is actually the third point I was going to say. And that is, all women deep down in their hearts want their husband to just figure it out. And sometimes they'll actually say it clearly. They'll just say, hey, you should figure it out. You should know. Be the man, right? You should have the intuition, the clarity, the confidence, what to do and what not to do. And when a woman feels like she has to tell her husband everything, it causes disrespect, because she feels she'll forever have to tell him. And she'll have to keep on updating him on everything, what he needs to do and not do. So there are 3 reasons, again, why you should not be involving her. Number 1, because she's looking for a feeling and she has no clue how to get it. So by you just doing what she says, it will not get you the results that you want. Because she's going to keep on shifting. She's going to keep on changing her expectations. She's going to keep on changing her demands. And then she's going to just blame you for not doing it right or for not getting it, whatever that's supposed to mean. That drove me crazy. My wife used to tell me, "You don't get it. You don't get it. You made me nuts." Right? What do you mean? What do you mean I don't get it? I'm trying so hard. Remember, gosh. Um, so that's the first reason. Second reason is because she believes she already tried. So even if she makes her effort, it's just external, it's superficial, it's half-hearted, and that's why actually many women will be involved in an affair even while they're in counseling, because they're going to counseling because they agreed to go and they know it's the logical thing to do, but their heart is already gone. All right, and that's why going to retreats don't help, because essentially you're sitting there saying, "I don't know what to do. I can't figure her out. Please tell me what to do." And she's sitting there watching you virtually do that. And that's by counseling, that's by retreats, and that happens when you do everything she wants, when you do everything on her list, because she basically sees your desperation. Your desperation is not attractive. Your desperation tells her you don't really know what you're doing. You're just doing what she says because you're afraid of her reaction. And again, that causes more disrespect, that causes more disconnect, that causes, her to feel your desperation, which automatically, by the way, I mean, we could talk about this. This is its own topic, but desperation, we'll talk about it in other videos. Desperation is not attractive. If a woman ever senses you're desperate, or even, I'm going to go deep, guys. I hope it's okay with you, right? Let me know if you get this. Even if you're not desperate, but there's something you say or do which makes her feel like you're desperate, it will push her heart away. I promise you. I promise you it will push her heart away. Guaranteed. Because desperation is not attractive, and if there's something that she decided that you were desperate, it just, boom. Maybe some women will be okay with that, but those are the sick ones. I mean, those ones who want to dominate, it just, it doesn't lead to a healthy marriage, all right? And that's why counseling doesn't work, and that's why retreats don't work, because it requires her to participate. It requires her to put her heart in it, and it requires her to sort of go through saying, "Oh, what do I want him to do?" But she has no clue how to actually recapture the feeling. She has no clue how to recapture the intimacy, how to recapture respect. It's impossible. I've never seen a situation where a wife says, "Oh, if you want me to respect you, do this and this and this and this and this." The husband does it, and she says, "Okay, great. Now I respect you." I've never seen it. Maybe temporarily it'll work for a couple of weeks, right? Maybe a month or two. But then the cycle will come back, or she'll suddenly feel the same feelings again, and you're like, "What the hell? I just did everything you wanted." And you're like, "No, it didn't work." All right? So, and that's why, by the way, I'm going deep over here, because I want to share with you a lot of this. This is stuff that took me years to understand. I can't tell you how much I invested tens of thousands of dollars making research, talking to couples, taking off time from work, just so much. I did so much to learn this, and I want to share this with you because I really, really want to help you. I don't just want to inspire you. I want to actually help you. So I want you to understand this. Listening to her is very, very damaging unless you essentially have basically a very good relationship. Okay, because if you're doing what she wants, you're giving her the space that she wants and the time that she wants, it will not heal her heart. Giving in doesn't heal her heart. All that stuff does is it makes her feel more comfortable with herself. So if she has more, for example, time and space, if she just says, "Oh, I want my time and space," essentially what's happening is that you're, how do I say it? You're basically just making her feel more comfortable without you. That's what she's looking for. In other words, if you give her time and space, you know what's going on behind the scenes? I'll tell you a little secret. This is, by the way, this is gold that I'm giving you. This is gold. What's going on behind the scenes is that she's asking herself, "Am I more comfortable without him?" When she's getting her time and space, or when they have trial separations, right? Most of the time, the woman is telling herself, "Hey, am I happier now?" She's not. She may be saying she's doing it to help the relationship, but most of the time, what's really happening is she's just thinking like, "Hey, am I really, maybe I'm better off on my own." So I'm just giving you an idea. Like, just doing what she wants will always lead you to a more disconnected marriage because her agenda is different than yours. Your agenda is to bring her closer. Her agenda is to feel a little more comfortable without you. Okay, I'm giving you another level of understanding. I hope I'm not giving you too much. Tell me in the chat. Give me a thumbs up if you understand this. Ask me questions if you don't. Tell me if you get this, if this makes sense. All right? So we're going to wrap this up in a minute. What I'm going to ask you today is to do as follows. I would like you to share what disrespect looks like in your marriage, right? In your marriage, when she disrespects you, what happens? And number 2, what have you done to try to fix it? And number 3, what happened when you tried it? And number 4, how is it affecting your kids? Because when I get this information, I really know your situation, then we can address this as a group together, take a bunch of you guys down a process with a full-blown strategy that's actually going to turn things around. So again, number 1, share with me what disrespect looks like in your marriage. Number 2, what if you tried to get that respect back? Number 3, what were the results? And number 4, how is it affecting your kids? What are they saying about the marriage? What are you seeing in them that tells you that they're being affected by the lack of respect, by the lack of connection? All right. If you feel more comfortable, you can private message me. Ideally, we'd want to keep it all within the group so we can just create an environment over here, a culture, and build our tribe together where guys feel comfortable with each other and feel safe. All right. I'm going to circle back to this tomorrow. I'm going to jump off for now. And like I said, if we get feedback on those questions, we understand your situation, we understand your challenges, we understand what you tried, then I'll be able to fast track the process and put out another video this Thursday instead of waiting till next Monday. All right, my friends, take care and have a good night.